Okay, section 6, related Sage code. Again, Sage is a computer algebra system. It's available online. If you click this link over here, it'll open up a website that's provide your computers are properly configured. So I'll click on that, opens up a website. I'm going to point out what we want to do is just a CoCalc instant Sage worksheet. The reason for that, it's really the easiest thing to do if you want to get your feet wet in coding Sage type problems. All right. Sage is based on Python language. All right. I'm going to welcome the CoCalc. And what I want to do is I want to start a new worksheet. So I'll click on new. And I want to click on Sage worksheet. And you're going to see me do this every time Sage comes up. I will say this, though. I don't like using web-based resources. I'd rather use my computer. But right now, this is the easiest thing to do, Sage worksheet. And I'll type in these commands, reset. Remember, shift return. X is a variable. This is just a good habit to get into, is defining your variables. And then you'll say solve. Now, the problem with this is a lot of times when students type in code, they do not understand the output. And that's a problem. So I'm also going to go to different software today. Whoops. Minus 12. And I'm going to say solve for X. So let me read it to you. It says solve that inequality. And that inequality would read, minus 2 times X is less than or equal to minus 12. Well, I got to be honest with you. I think I could solve this a lot quicker by hand than I would be going to a computer, but I'll do the shift return now. It says blinking green, then it tells me what the answer is. It says X is greater than or equal to 6. I'm going to open up another application, and that application is Wolfram Alpha. That's WOLFRAMALPHA.com. And I want to type the problem in. All right, so I'm going to type in solve. This is actually easier for me to use. And you should learn how to do this as well. Minus 2x, so I have to put a star over there, less than or equal, minus 12. Hit return. All right, it's blinking up. And I want to point out what it does. It typesets it for me. And that's good when you're looking at that, because if you're looking at my notes, it should look like my notes. It also graphs it. It gives me a graph of it, and it gives me a solution to it. What does it say? X is greater than or equal to 6. And here's the graph of that. All right, it's the graph. Now, other things may be on this page, and I want to warn you about this. There are many things on this page, but the more and more you use Wolfram Alpha, the more likely you're going to be hit up with ads to purchase this product. You're under no obligation to purchase anything. No obligation. So Wolfram Alpha is actually commercial software. It's easier to use. It really is easier to use in Sage. And also the output looks a lot better. It's commercial product, whereas Sage is open source. All right, let me go back. I'm going to close this out now. And I want to emphasize to you over here is I can do a copy paste. So I selected that and copy it. And I want to go back to that web browser and just paste that in. Now, there is a problem with copy paste. Sometimes with copy paste, it doesn't work. And you'll know that when you get this error message. But let's take a look. All right, it solved it. What did it say? X is greater than minus 1/2. All right, let me copy paste another one in, this one over here. This may seem strange to you, but I will read it to you. This is 2 inequalities. What does it say? 6x plus 7 is greater than or equal to minus 5, and 6x plus 7 is less than 25. What is this known as? A double or a compound inequality. Shift return, and it spits back an answer. Now, this is where a lot of students get very confused by the output. All right, very confused. What does it say? X is greater than minus 2, and X is less than 3. And also, X could be equal to minus 2. All right. I got to be honest with you, I think it's a lot easier to solve this one by hand. I want to go back to Wolfram Alpha, though, and I'm going to do a copy paste of that. All right. So give me 1 second. I'll go back to Wolfram Alpha. Again, that's WOLFRAMALPHA.com. And I'm just going to paste that in, and I want to see what happens. All right. Now, granted, for a lot of students who are looking at this and they're horribly confused by it. All right. So what I want to go back and look at the problem. I'm going to type in a little bit different this time. All right. I'm going to copy it again. But I think I copied the wrong one. All right. I'm going to edit it. This is something you can do a lot with software. You're not going to understand the output. And then you can say, what do I do? Well, retype it. Just like when you're in Google, you type in a search, it comes up with something you don't expect. But anyway, what I got over here, I got something. I can read it. It typesets it for me. This would look like what my notes would look like. It gives me the solution to the problem, and it gives me the graph of it. What it's not giving me is the interval. I can look at that and know what the interval is, though. All right. So this is like another product you may want to consider using to learn. Right? I'm not saying as a replacement to reasoning skills, but to learn how a computer would solve a problem like this and what the output looks like. All right. Thank you. By the way, you can type in the rest of the codes if you want. It's pretty easy to do that.